Meet Leo. Leo is a simple, hardworking monkey. After a long day of swinging through the daily grind, all Leo wants to do is sit down in his digital nest and play a little football. He's been playing the same game FIFA for 15 years. But lately, Leo has a problem. Every time Leo tries to start a match in his ultimate team, a giant flashing neon sign pops up in his face demanding banana tokens. He wants to play as his favorite striker? That'll be 5 bananas. He wants a kit that doesn't look like a potato sack? 10 bananas. Leo looks at his library and realizes something terrifying. Every game he owns, from the Mass Effect space operas to the Need for Speed racing sims, is starting to feel exactly the same. It's no longer about the adventure. It's about a never-ending, soul-crushing loop of recurring revenue. See, Leo is a victim of the Electronic Arts virus. It's a disease that started in the EA boardroom and spread like wildfire through the canopy. It's the obsession with turning every single buy-once game into a perpetual pay-forever slot machine. And while Leo is staring at his empty banana pouch, the alphas at EA are sweating. They've pushed the troop too far. The branches are breaking, the forest is quiet, and the lead monkeys at EA are looking at a balance sheet that looks like a bloodbath. They are staring into the abyss of total bankruptcy, until a mysterious shadow from a distant sandy oasis reaches out with massive amount of banana. But is this a rescue, or is it a harvest? To understand how we got to this nightmare, we have to look back at the roots. Before they were the evil empire, EA was actually cool? I know, it sounds like a hallucination from eating fermented fruit, but it's true. Back in the early 2000s, EA was the undisputed silverback of the gaming forest. They had a philosophy: find the smartest monkeys in the jungle, give them a pile of bananas and let them cook. They bought up legendary tribes like BioWare, Maxis, and Visceral. These weren't just studios. They were the master architects of many monkey childhoods. Think back. You had Mass Effect, a space opera so big it made the moon look like a pebble. You had Dragon Age, where you could be a wizard monkey fighting high-definition dragons. You had Dead Space, which was basically a simulator for how many times can a monkey scream in the dark. And then there was the crown jewel, the sports monopoly. EA figured out that if they owned the exclusive rights to the FIFA and Madden names, they owned the entire troop Sunday afternoon. It was a license to print bananas. By 2011, they were raking in nearly 4 billion bananas a year. They were respected, they were polished, they were the alpha. But as the pile of bananas grew into a mountain, a new breed of monkey started climbing the corporate ladder. These weren't gamer monkeys who cared about the art of the swing. These were the suit monkeys. They didn't look at the screen. They looked at the growth graph. And the graph told them something dangerous. Making a great game once is fine. But getting a monkey to pay for the same game every single day, that is God tier. The golden age was over. The hunger was just beginning. Now, if you're a suit monkey, you hate risk. And you know what's risky? Making a new creative game. What if the troop doesn't like it? What if it takes 5 years to build? So the suit monkeys came up with a better idea. Instead of a masterpiece, why not build a service? Imagine you go to buy a banana. In the old days, you gave a guy a coin, he gave you a banana, you ate it. Done. But under the new EA model, you give the guy a coin, and he gives you a locked box that might have a banana in it. Or it might have a banana peel. Or it might have a sticker of a banana. If you want the actual fruit, you have to keep paying a subscription fee to stay in the fruit stand. This is the live service virus. It started small, a little online pass here, a deluxe edition there. But then came the ultimate evil, Ultimate Team. They realized they could turn football into a digital trading card game. They hooked the monkeys on the dopamine of opening packs. Suddenly, EA wasn't a game developer anymore. They were a casino for kids. The virus spread to everything. They took Dead Space 3, a horror game about isolation, and shoved a buy crafting parts button in the middle of it. They took Mass Effect 3 and told you that if you wanted the best ending for the galaxy, you had to play the multiplayer mode. The lead monkeys grew arrogant. They started sunsetting. That's corpo speak for killing. Any studio that didn't make a billion banana hit. They ground down the geniuses at BioWare until they were making hollow shells like Anthem. They closed Visceral Games because they decided single player is dead. But the troop finally had enough, and the Star Wars Battlefront 2 disaster happened. Imagine this: you buy a Star Wars game because you want to be Darth Vader. You open the game, and the lead monkeys tell you that to play as Vader, you either have to grind for 40 hours or just cough up more bananas. When the troop complained, an EA lead monkey went on Reddit and said this was designed to give players a sense of pride and accomplishment. It was the most downvoted comment in history. The greed became so loud and so radioactive that even the government monkey started passing laws against EA's loot boxes. They called it what it was, gambling for cubs. The Star Wars branch was on fire, and for once, the lead monkeys couldn't just ignore the smoke. By late 2024, the numbers were a disaster. Sales were tanking. The FIFA name was gone because EA was too cheap to pay for the license. Players were fleeing to the Apple Garden or the indie undergrowth. The stock price was bleeding out. EA was a sinking ship, a hollowed-out tree with no fruit left. The lead monkeys sat in their glass towers, watching the bankruptcy clock tick down, until a golden boat appeared on the horizon, sailing from a land of endless oil and sand. Enter the Saudi Public Investment Fund, or the PIF. Now, why would a group of desert alphas who have $700 billion in oil money care about a failing game company in California? Is it because they love The Sims? No. The Saudi oasis dropped a staggering $55 billion bananas to buy EA outright. To the lead monkeys at EA, this was a miracle. It was a get-out-of-jail-free card. But for the Saudis, this was a masterstroke of soft power. See, when a jungle has a controversial reputation due to some, let's say, aggressive history with monkey rights, as Saudi monkeys often do, they need a way to change the conversation. They call this reputation laundering. If they own EA, they own the stories. They own the football games. They own the culture that millions of monkeys consume every day. It's hard to stay mad at a silverback when he's the one providing your favorite Saturday night entertainment. The investment process was fast and swift. The PIF has been on a global shopping spree, buying pieces of Nintendo, Capcom, and even the Embracer Group. But buying EA was the big one. It gave them a direct seat at the head of the table. But here is the punchline. You'd think a $55 billion buyout would mean a new direction, right? You'd think they'd fire the suit monkeys who ruined the games and bring back the artists? Wrong. In the great EA Saudi buyout, the lead monkeys, the same ones who pushed the loot box virus, the same ones who killed BioWare, are still in charge. They didn't get fired, they got promoted. They now have a bigger banana capital than ever before. They don't have to worry about sales anymore because the desert gold is infinite. They can keep slopping out the same hollow games. They can keep forcing the recurring revenue loops, and they can do it all while serving a new alpha who cares more about image than input. Leo sits in his nest, looking at the new EA logo. It's shiny, it's expensive, but as he tries to start his match, the screen still blinks. Insert 5 bananas to continue. The owners changed, the bank account grew, but the virus? The virus is exactly where it's always been.